Mundy's corpse wasn't very attractive. I wasn't looking forward to telling Carlotta how Mundy died. Someone, either the killer or Mundy, had written Azil on the wall in blood. Mundy's blood, presumably. I had no idea what it meant. It seemed to be a cheap copy of Spinner's Rain, Cream, and Speed. I could tell it was art, because I couldn't make out what it was supposed to be. The bed looked neither comfortable nor inviting. Mundy's killer had tied his legs together with my rope. It was bad enough that he stole my rope without implicating me in a gruesome murder at the same time. Nothing. There should have been something in the boots, only there wasn't. I was pretty sure that the watch didn't search them, and that didn't leave many options. It hardly seemed worth searching the bed. The watch had already searched it, and frankly, it was a pretty nasty bed. Mundy's killer had tied his legs together with my rope. It was bad enough that he stole my rope without implicating me in a gruesome murder at the same time. There was nothing on Mundy's body worth taking. Nothing. There should have been something in the boots, only there wasn't. I was pretty sure that the watch didn't search them, and that didn't leave many options. Looking closely at the frayed rope hanging from the rafters, I knew that Mundy had been tied up by the legs and then hung from the ceiling. I didn't know why. Frankly, I wondered if I really wanted to know why. Something very strange was going on. I didn't want to tamper with the evidence. Besides, there wasn't enough rope there to do me any good. My thinking was getting a little abstract. I preferred to stay in the concrete. The frayed rope in the rafters was the same as the rope around Mundy's legs. The rope that used to be tied to the grapple. That had to mean that Mundy was hung upside down and then killed. And that meant someone cut him down after he was killed. Curiouser and curiouser. Someone, either the killer or Mundy, had written Azil on the wall in blood. Mundy's blood, presumably. I had no idea what it meant. Frankly, the message could mean anything. One of them hit me at that moment because I suddenly realized something that should have been obvious. If Mundy was hung upside down, and if Mundy wrote the message, then the message was upside down. Since Mundy's killer had ruined my rope, the grapple wasn't much use. How does it feel to be a suspect, Mankin?
What?
You're an obvious choice of suspect because you called the watch. You were the first on the scene. Round here, that means it's practically a closed case.
I don't see why. You were there when I got there.
I was unconscious.
Well, I heard a commotion. That's what made me check it out in the first place. Maybe Mundy managed to knock you out before he died.
While he was tied and blind? Perhaps he said a particularly offensive word and I fainted.
Well, I happen to know that the Watch consider you a suspect.
Well, don't forget that I know something that they don't. That you're a liar and you can't be trusted.
Just because you can't trust me doesn't mean no one can trust me.
I've been thinking hard about Mundy's death, and there's something that doesn't add up.
Oh, enthrall me with your erudite wisdom, great one.
When Mundy was killed, he was hanging from the ceiling, but when the Watch turned up, he was on the ground.
Maybe the killer cut him down when he was dead.
I don't think so. I think that message was written by Mundy, and I don't think the killer saw him write it, which means someone must have cut him down. Somebody who was in that room cut Mundy down. I don't think it was the killer, and I know it wasn't me.
What are you getting at?
You cut him down, didn't you?
Why should I tell you?
I've already told you. I don't think the killer would have cut him down. Which means if you cut him down, you're in the clear.
All right, yeah, so I cut him down. Happy now?
Why?
Not everything has a reason, Luton.
But people can usually find reasons for what they do.
Well, draw your own conclusions.
I was missing something, but I couldn't see what. You cut down Mundy so you could search him, didn't you?
What are you suggesting?
Nothing worse than the truth. You're a liar and a thief.
All right, Luton. What is it you want? What have I got to do to get you to leave?
Just give me what you found in Mundy's boot, and I'll leave you alone.
Here. You want it? Have it. It's worthless anyway.
What is it?
How the hell should I know? Now, I kept my end of the bargain. You keep yours. Leave me alone.
We'll see, Mencken. I figure I owe you at least one lie.
Get out, Luton.
In my own time, Mencken had given me a small coin. But it wasn't any type of coin I recognized. I guess I should be grateful to the half-elf for keeping the clue away from the Watch. But frankly, I just didn't like the little weasel. I need to speak with Sapphire.
Try and imagine how much I care.
Look, is she here or not?
She's in her dressing room.
That's all for now.
Always a pleasure.
It's really impolite to walk into a room without knocking. But who knows what you miss out on when you take the time to knock. Sapphire had a pile of money in her room, and I was glad I hadn't given her an opportunity to hide it.
Luton, you startled me. Didn't Mother tell you not to walk into rooms unannounced?
Mother told me to walk into rooms with a crossbow. She was a sensible woman.
What you want?
That's quite a lot of money you've got.
What? Oh, yeah. Money, yeah.
Where'd you get it, Sapphire?
Oh, that. Well, see, I won it.
Won it?
Yes, at casino.
Which one?
Saturnalia. Sapphire go there often.
Really? Is it a good casino?
Oh, yeah. Good as casino get. You should go, Luton.
Maybe I will. You lied to me, Sapphire. Strung me along with that Madame Lodestone story.
What? No. Sapphire told truth.
The troll in Madame Lodestone's grave wasn't Therma.
How you tell?
Malachite told me.
You trust him?
He's too stupid to lie, and you're too smart not to.
Sapphire not smart. Big dumb troll, like all the other trolls.
Don't play games, Sapphire. I know you're smarter than the average troll, although I could say the same about some mushrooms.
Look, Sapphire don't know why someone would switch bodies. Sapphire just trying to help.
She was lying to me. I could feel it. She was obviously hiding something, but it was apparent I needed to know more if I was going to worm it out of her. I'll be back.
That's what they all say.
I couldn't imagine who would pay attention to the notices in a seedy dive like the Parrot, but I guess they were of interest to someone. Based upon the real truth, the King of Ankh, Hwell's most boring play.
I see Sir has returned.
Sir has.
Who would Sir like to see?
I think I'd better be going.
So soon? But Sir has barely had the chance to irreparably damage the furnishings. I see Sir has returned.
Sir has.
Who would Sir like to see?
Is Carlotta home?
Alas, no. What a shame that Sir's trip has been wasted. Perhaps Sir would like to leave now.
Tell her I called by.
Why, my loins stir at the very thought of serving you in this way, sir.
Is the Count receiving guests?
No, but he will see you.
Ah, Luton. I was hoping you would drop by.
You don't sound so good, Count.
I am not the man I used to be, that is certain. Past my prime, you might say. Yes, past my prime.
I could come back later if you want.
No, there is no guarantee that I will be getting any better. If anything, I might be worse.
Your health?
We are both men of the world, Mr. Luton. I will not mince words with you. I am dying. I might last another year or so, or I might not last the week. And to think I thought Ankh-Morpork would be good for my health.
Not too many people would believe you, certainly.
Let us dispense with the pleasantries and get straight to business. Yes? Yes. Straight to business.
I'll be back later.
I look forward to it.
I see Sir has returned.
Sir has.
Who would Sir like to see?
What can you tell me about the Count?
I regret to inform, sir, that the Count's health has been in gradual decline and that he will probably not live to see the new year.
That's 5 months away.
Sir's grasp of mathematics dazzles me, sir.
What's the problem?
Merely that, unlike Sir, I have not been blessed with a truly dizzying intellect.
With the Count, I mean.
The Count's health has been failing for some years now. but I believe he has never been so bad as since the loss of his one companion.
His companion? Who's that?
I fear that my idle tongue has already revealed too much of the Count's private affairs, and I would ask that Sir respect the Count's privacy, lest I be forced to provide Sir with a thick ear.
So, what can you tell me about this missing companion?
Why Sir believes that asking me again will yield any different answer is beyond my comprehension, and must therefore be a sign of the staggering intellectual advantage that Sir possesses over such a humble retainer.
Is Carlotta...
What a perhaps
Tell her...
Why, my lord...
Is the Count receiving guests?
No, but he will see you.
I've got a few more questions for you, Count.
Yes, good questions. Go on.
Your interest in the Mundy case wouldn't have something to do with your missing companion, would it?
Why, Mr. Newton, I'm impressed. You actually do have some detective skills.
What's the deal?
He was my friend. Perhaps my last friend. He was a dwarf of simple tastes, and when I was younger, he drove my carriage for me. These days, given that I am confined to the conservatory, I have no need for a driver, but I kept Regin on the payroll so that I should have someone to talk to.
When did he go missing?
3 days ago. He took the carriage out that night and has not been seen since.
And you thought Carlotta might have employed me to look for him?
I was hoping, yes.
You could always employ me to find him.
Wouldn't that be a conflict of interests?
I don't see why. Anyway, there isn't a conflict of interest that I know about that couldn't be solved with a generous cash settlement.
Be assured that if you can find Regin, I can offer you substantial recompense.
Then I'll see what I can do. The Count gave me an iconograph of Regan to help my investigations. My mind was already racing. 3 days ago, the Milka arrives. 3 days ago, Regan disappears. Now, I believe in coincidences. Coincidences happen every day. But I don't trust coincidences. Something deeper was going on here, and I was going to find out what. Because I can't stand a secret, and because I have a burning need to find the truth. But mostly, because there was a wad of money in it for me if I found out. I'll be back later.
I look forward to it.
Saturnalia was almost legendary. The upmarket casino was situated on the King's Way and was frequented by the rich members of Ankh's high society and hopeful social climbers from Morpork. It was a temple to pride, greed, and avarice. And like any temple, anyone with money was welcome. The last person I wanted to see was Death himself, waiting to take me to whatever hell awaits a failure like me. But after Death, Ilsa was a close second. My eyes were drawn to her the moment I entered the room, and I decided then and there that I wasn't going to talk to her. The next thing I remember, I was talking to her.
Hello, Luton. Still mad at me?
As soon as I learn how to offer forgiveness, you'll be the first one to receive it.
This is my companion, Two Conkers.
Pleased to be meeting you. You are Remora Selaci. Not the last time I checked.
This is Luton. He's an old friend of mine.
Why did he think I was Remora Selaci?
We're supposed to be meeting him here.
What do you want with an assassin like Remora?
What are you talking about?
I looked around to see Remora drawing a weapon. Assassins are damn good at what they do, but they're not allowed to kill innocent bystanders. I didn't know if it was bravery or stupidity, but I decided to stand between Remora and his target. Interrupting an assassin while he was working was a risky business. So I decided to ambush Remora with the old only answer questions with questions routine. Why did you try to kill that woman?
Why does any assassin try to kill someone?
Who put a contract out on Ilsa?
Don't you know better than to interfere in official guild business?
Why would anyone want to kill Ilsa?
Do you expect me to discuss a confidential case with you?
What do you want from me, Remora?
A swift death and a cheap funeral.
Ha! You lose. That wasn't a question, that was a statement. You're getting sloppy.
You're lucky we're only allowed to kill for money, because I'd take you out for free, Luton.
I'd managed to embarrass Remora in front of a crowd of social notables, and that was bad news. It was bad enough that I had the watch breathing down my neck without the Assassin's Guild baying for my blood. Fortunately, there was nothing they could do to me unless someone paid for a contract on me. Actually, that wasn't strictly true. They could tie me up and torture me for days if they wanted to, just as long as I didn't die. It wasn't a comforting thought.
Who was the woman?
Carlotta, what are you doing here?
I like to take risks. Isn't that what life is for?
I've taken enough risks to last a lifetime.
You didn't answer my question, you know. Who was the woman?
Ilsa, why do you want to know? Jealous? Afraid you might have a rival?
All women are rivals, Luton.
She's not important.
I see. If you decide to be honest with me, I'll be around.
It was the most unsettled I'd seen Carlotta get. I guess there was a heart in that cold chest after all. The woman's name is Ilsa. She and I used to be close. It's over.
Why are you telling me this?
I thought you might want to know.
How is the case going?
Badly. Mundy's dead.
Dead?
Yeah, dead. Murdered. And not a pretty sight. I'm sorry.
Don't be. I'll survive. You could have chosen a nicer way to tell me.
I thought you might appreciate me getting straight to the point. Do you want me to stay on the case?
Is there still a case?
I thought perhaps you might like to know who killed Mundy and why.
Yes, I owe him that. You can continue with the case, Luton.
The person who killed Mundy hung him upside down and poked his eyes out. Can you think of any reason they might have done that?
What? No. Why should I?
Well, you knew Mundy. I didn't. I thought you might have an insight on it that I didn't. Did you kill Mundy?
What? What do you think I am, Luton?
It's got nothing to do with what I think of you, Carlotta. But the Watch are investigating, and if they find out about your connection with Mundy, you're bound to be a suspect.
So why are you asking me if I did it?
Let's just call it professional curiosity.
If I had done it, would you turn me in?
That depends.
On what? What?
On why you did it.
You don't strike me as a moralist, Luton.
I'm a simple man, Carlotta. I have simple ideas of what's right and what's wrong. The trouble is, things are seldom that simple. It's always somewhere in the middle ground. I try not to jump to conclusions. In my line of work, that can get you killed.
That must be a tremendous incentive to think everything through.
I do my best. You still haven't answered my question.
I didn't kill him, Luton, if that's what you really want to know.
Do you have an alibi? I told her when the murder took place and asked her if she had an alibi. I wasn't surprised when she did. Frankly, I reckon I could have said any day and any time, and she'd have had an alibi. She was that kind of woman.
There are witnesses who can corroborate where I was.
And where were you?
I was in the Temple of Small Gods.
Spend a lot of time on your knees, do you, sister?
We all need a little absolution.
For your sins?
Everything I do is a sin in someone's eyes.
I've got things to do. I'll see you around, Carlotta. What's the game?
Truncheon. Interested, stranger?
The name's Luton. What are the stakes?
Minimum stake is $1 a hand. House limit is 10,000 per hand.
I'm in. Here's my dollar.
Hey, big spender.
World told me how to play the game. Something to do with the major arcana and the private arcana. The major arcana had strange names like the Fool, the Pyrophant, and the unbelievable expense of a slice of cheese. Essentially, it seems I just had to stay under 21 and get as high as I could. It all seems pretty whimsical to me.
It's a whimsical world.
What happens in a tie?
I win.
That doesn't seem fair.
I'll note that down in the complaints book, shall I? Player thinks the odds might be stacked in favour of the house.
I didn't really know what I was doing, but I expected to lose my dollar anyway, so I didn't worry about it. But someone else at the table seemed pretty worked up about what I was doing.
That isn't the way to play it.
Why not?
Because it isn't the way to win.
Is there a way to win?
Well, there's a way to lose more slowly.
What's it to you?
I've seen enough losing. I don't want to see any more.
I only bet $1.
No, it's the principle of the thing.
What do you think?
I'm just a croupier. I'm not paid to think.
I lost my dollar, but I reckon I got value for money. And hey, the cards were pretty. Do you own this place?
Saturnalia? No, you gotta be kidding.
Who owns it?
I don't really know. Probably a whole group of people. For all I know, no one owns it, and it just keeps ticking over all on its own.
Is that likely?
Frankly, I don't really care. As long as I get paid, it's all the same to me.
Don't you have an inquisitive mind?
No, I find people with inquisitive minds don't live too long.
I had a feeling that Mundy's coin was important, and I wasn't about to show it to just anyone. Do you recognize the dwarf in this iconograph?
Maybe. My memory just isn't as good as it could be.
I had a feeling that Mundy's... Do you know what this is?
It looks like a purse.
I think I have something of yours in it.
Really? Oh yes, so you do. And what do you know, my memory is suddenly much improved.
I thought it might be. Do you recognize the dwarf in this iconograph?
Sure, that's Reagan.
You know him?
He's a regular here at Saturnalia. He doesn't gamble much, but when he does, he wins. The rest of the time, he hangs around in the crowd.
Who does he talk to?
Hey, I don't spy on the customers.
Why not?
I have to keep my eyes on the tables.
When did you last see him?
It's been days, I think.
Anything else you can remember about him?
Yeah, he has a safety deposit box.
A deposit box?
A lot of valuables change hands here. Some people like to have somewhere safe to keep them.
But you say Reagan didn't gamble much.
Well, I don't know why he has a box. I just know that he has one.
You know a troll named Sapphire, don't you?
Yeah, I know Sapphire. She's a good customer. Always plays with cash. Never wins anything. Some trolls aren't born lucky, I guess.
She never wins?
She wins a little, but she always loses it again. She can't hold on to money. Few people can in this place. By the time she walks out the doors, she's always a loser.
Is there any chance she could have won big and you wouldn't know about it?
If she won it here, I'd know about it.
Anything more you can tell me about Sapphire's losing streak?
What's to tell? That troll holds on to money like a drunken dwarf holds on to his temper.
Time to excuse myself from the table, I think. I couldn't open the boxes without a key. I didn't need maybe the ace of octograms, the Inquisitor, the Exquisitor, and the irritating habit of finishing off other people's sentences. Can we talk, or do I have to play that stupid game again?
Business is slow, we can talk.
Time to excuse my... You seem to get worked up over my gambling.
I'm not as easygoing as I used to be.
You're a wizard?
Wow, you're sharp. What tipped you off? The gown? The arcane symbols?
Look, I just thought you might want to talk. You tried to help me at the table, and I thought I'd make amends for being so rude to you. Sorry I tried.
No, wait. I'm like, sorry, friend. It's just, I'm on edge.
The name's Luton.
I'm sorry. We haven't been properly introduced. My name is Warb. B-L-L.
B-L-L?
Well, Bachelor of Eldritch Lace Making.
Eldritch lace making?
Don't ask.
You a regular in here, then?
I guess so. I'm not very lucky.
I thought all wizards were lucky.
Whatever gave you that impression? Do you know how many bizarre and unpleasant ways there are for a wizard to die inside the walls of Unseen University alone? One false invocation as you're summoning a demon, and bang! Your lunch for some pit fiend with more tentacles than legs and fewer arms than heads. Or spend too long in the wrong area of the library and poof, you disappear. All that you leave behind is a statistic.
Don't you like being a wizard? It always seemed like a glamorous profession to me.
There's nothing glamorous about wizardry. Well, except for glamours.
Glamours?
It's an elvish thing.
Well, thank you very much. If you're so unlucky, why do you come here?
I haven't lived a lucky life, but, well, I don't know. I guess I feel that in here, I at least have a chance.
But the odds are always stacked against you. The house always has the advantage.
Let me tell you something, Luton. The house always has the advantage. Here, out there, it doesn't make any difference. At least in here, you know who the house is.
That's a pretty stark outlook.
Ever made a decision that affected your whole life? Ever done something that throws everything into question?
No, I don't feel in that much control of my life.
None of us are.
So you work up at Unseen University.
I was trained there. Once I got my degree, I moved on.
But you're still a wizard. I thought all you guys were under the jurisdiction of the university.
Yeah, I work for Unseen Security.
Unseen Securities?
Yeah, we make magical security systems. Very exclusive.
Are they expensive?
Oh, yeah. Hardly anyone can afford our services.
Maybe I'll see you later. Come to persecute me some more, Luton? A man's gotta have a hobby. Where did Sapphire get all that money from?
Ha, ha, ha. You never give up, do you?
That's considered an asset in my line of work.
Just leave me alone, Luton. I'm sick of the sight of you. I'm sick of talking to you. And I am sick of all your damn questions.
Look, you know I'm not gonna give up. Why not just pretend you've held out for a commendable length of time and finally cracked? It could be our little secret.
Luton, if anyone starts saving up to get an assassin for you, let me know, will you? That's one cause I'd gladly give generously to.
In the meantime, what about Sapphire's money?
I didn't even know she had any money.
She claims to have won it over at the casino.
At Saturnalia? You've got to be kidding. If Sapphire had a big win, the whole town would know about it by now. No, I'd be prepared to bet it has something to do with whoever she met when she missed her shift.
Who did she meet?
I've no idea. All I know is she missed her shift because she had to meet someone.
Thanks for your help.
Oh, it's always a pleasure, Luton.
That's all for now.
Always a pleasure.
I've got some more questions for you, Sapphire.
Sapphire busy. Leave her alone.
I know about your problems.
Problems?
The debts. The huge losses. You're struggling just to keep your head above water. I bet you've had to make all kinds of nasty compromises just to keep yourself going.
What you talking about? Who been saying such things about me?
Does it matter?
It mattered to Sapphire.
All right. I heard it from Whirl, and he should know.
Huh, Whirl. He don't know everything goes on at Saturnalia.
I hear you had a mysterious meeting not too long ago. Not long after, you turn up with a lot of money. Sounds like an awfully big coincidence to me.
Stop harassing Sapphire. Already told Luton. Won the money at Saturnalia.
Right. So, you won a lot of money at the casino.
Yes, already told ya. Big win.
You won big at the casino, but no one at the casino seems to remember you winning.
They lie. Sapphire won big.
And this mysterious meeting as well. You say that had nothing to do with the money.
Forget about meeting. Meeting not important.
Not important, eh? I think it is. I say you met with someone and they gave you the money. Someone who had something to hide. Someone who'd pay good money to keep it quiet. Who was it, Sapphire?
No one.
It wasn't no one who paid you, Sapphire. It was someone who was interested in me, wasn't it? Someone who didn't want me digging around after Therma. Why? What's so important that someone would pay you to cover up for them? Who is it?
No one.
You'd better tell me, because I'm going to find out one way or another. And if you don't tell me, when I find out who it is, I'll tell them you told me where to find them.
No, she'll kill me.
Who? Who'd kill you?
Therma. It was Therma. I been blackmailing Therma. She not want to be found.
Therma is still alive?
Yeah?
Good. Arrange a meeting with her for me.
What?
You heard me. Face it, Sapphire, your little scam is broken. If you want me to keep quiet about your little windfall, you're going to have to fix a meeting with Therma for me.
Therma won't do it.
Well, you'd better make her do it, because otherwise I'm going to go straight to the Guild of Thieves, Burglars, and Allied Trades to tell them about you. They don't take kindly to unlicensed blackmail.
You do that to me?
Look into my eyes and tell me if I'm bluffing.
All right. Give me some time. I'll leave message at your office when it arranged.
I look forward to it. It's a pleasure doing business with you, Sapphire.
You're a cold one, Luton.
Not as cold as you, I reckon. I decided to leave Sapphire alone after that. I'd got what I wanted. somehow I wasn't surprised to find Al Kali waiting for me in my office. In my head was a list of suspects for killing Mundy, and Al Kali had gone straight in at number 1.
Mr. Luton, I am so pleased to see you.
The feeling's not mutual, Al Kali. What do you want?
All in good time, Mr. Luton.
Why do I get a feeling that Al Kali isn't your real name? It's not very dwarfish.
My name is of little consequence, Mr. Luton, and the story of how I acquired it will have to wait for another time. Now, if you'll excuse me.
Now, why would you want to carry an axe?
To hack at people, Mr. Luton. An axe is the weapon of choice for a dwarf. You should know that.
Why kill me now? What's the point?
I'm not planning to kill you, Mr. Luton. I merely need the axe as a deterrent should you wish to try something foolish.
I don't try foolish things. Sometimes they just happen.
Then I suggest you don't let them happen now.
When you've finished searching me, I know a nice restaurant we can go to.
So, you have been a busy man, Mr. Luton. I think you'd better come with me.
Is there an alternative?
That would depend on how attached you are to your arms and legs, and how much you want them to remain attached to you.
I didn't know where Al Kali was taking me, but I was now sure he wasn't going to kill me. He could have done that in my office, and it would have been days before anyone found the body. No, he wanted me for something. I just didn't know what. I don't know what I was expecting, but I wasn't expecting to be taken to see a troll. I've seen some unusual things in my life, but a troll and a dwarf working together? That was something else. Ankh-Morpork wasn't hot at that time of year, but the big troll was sitting back in a wicker chair being fanned. Smart. Out of the cold of the mountains, overheating of their silicon brains was the reason for the trademark stupidity of the trolls. I'd have to watch my step with this one. Al Kali had a brief whispered conversation with the troll, but I couldn't make out what was said. At one point, I thought I heard Al Kali mention a coin from Sorta, but the rest was a mystery.
Mr. Luton, so glad you could come and join us, and so punctually, too. Yes, I know you were escorted by Mr. Al Kali here, but the fact that you arrived on time shows that you didn't put up any show of resistance, which means you're intelligent enough to realize that we are not your enemies. And since we are not enemies, there is always the possibility that we might be friends. You are a quiet man?
No, I like to talk, but I like to dance, too. And the trick in both is knowing when to lead and when to follow.
Excellent, sir. Excellent. I distrust a quiet man. He generally picks the wrong time to talk and says the wrong things. A talking is something you cannot do judiciously unless you keep in practice. I'll tell you right out. I'm a troll who likes talking to people who like to talk.
What shall we talk about?
What indeed do friends talk about?
Most friendships don't start out with one of the friends being led around by an axe-wielding dwarf. While we're at it, most people know the names of...
Of course. How impolite of me. Mr. Al Kali, I believe you already know. And my name is Jasper Horst. Perhaps you've heard of me.
I have a bad memory for names. It gets me into a lot of trouble.
You have a bad attitude as well. That also gets you into trouble.
Now, Mr. Al Kali. It doesn't do to slander a guest, especially one whom you hope to count among your friends.
So, if we're friends, I guess Al Kali's warning about staying off the Mundy case was just a friendly warning.
Straight to the point. I do admire a man who avoids skirting the issues. Such a man makes an excellent politician, but is almost impossible to trust. Well, sir, it seems you are now in the possession of something that we would like.
And what might that be?
Come now, sir. There's no need to play coy. We know you were the last person Mundy saw, and we know you have the coin from Sorter. Frankly, sir, we know you have the golden sword, and we wish to make an offer for it.
What if I told you it wasn't for sale?
Don't be tedious, Mr. Luton. We obviously know that you are in the employ of Carlotta. Hence we know that you have a price. Whatever she is offering you, we can safely offer double. And unlike Carlotta, I am a troll of my word.
What if she's offering me something that you can't match?
You don't strike me as a man who would fall for Carlotta's moves, sir. You strike me as a man with better judgment than that. Are you loyal to Carlotta?
I am loyal to one person and one person alone. Me.
That's wonderful. I do like a man who isn't afraid to tell you that he is looking after himself.
We're all looking after ourselves.
Indeed, sir. Indeed. And I don't trust a man who says he's not.
Trust seems very important to you, Horst.
Indeed. Without trust, we are no better than barbarians. It is the capacity for trust that sets the humans, trolls, dwarfs, and such above the lesser animals.
That and our capacity for cruelty.
What a dark outlook you have, sir. Are you a pessimist?
Pessimism is a term used by optimists to attempt to discredit those who see the world as it really is.
You are a man of the world, sir. I like that about you.
Tell me about the golden sword, Horst.
Carlotta didn't tell you what it was?
Horst seemed to think I knew things that I didn't, and that could give me the advantage. I decided it was time for a good bluff. She told me, but I took it for granted she was lying.
A not injudicious thing to do.
Let's cut to the chase. How much will you pay me for the sword?
Suffice it to say, I will pay you its value.
That doesn't give me much to go on.
You will appreciate, sir, that a golden sword like that is a difficult artifact to sell. Indeed, you would draw a lot of attention were you to attempt to do so. I will offer you what the sword is worth, and that, I can assure you, is more than Carlotta is offering you.
I could use a figure.
I don't like to commit myself to fixed fees. Those who set exact price tags leave themselves no room to negotiate when the circumstances change. Rest assured that it will exceed $10,000 at the least.
10,000, eh? I'll think about it. Well, it's been nice talking to you, Horst, but I have other things to do.
I trust you will keep in touch, sir. I look forward to hearing your decision.
You're letting him go?
Come now, Mr. Alcali. Mr. Luton is our friend and associate. He is free to come and go as he pleases.
I'll let you know what I decide, Horst.
But of course, goodbye, Mr. Luton. For now.
I was starting to piece together what was going on. Whatever this sword was, it was clear that Mundy brought it into town with him on the Milka. I guess he was the courier. For who, wasn't clear. He must have hidden it in one of the crates on the Milka and then broken into the warehouse to recover it. Only the watchman stopped him before he could retrieve it. None of which told me where the sword was, or even what the sword was. One thing was clear. I needed to talk to Carlotta.